Hey, how's it going guys, Chris here, and I've got another in-depth Battlefield 1 weapon comparison for you today, focusing on two of the assault class's most popular SMGs, which both happen to be prototype weapons. The German water-cooled Hellriegel 1915, along with the completely mysterious SMG 0818, designed using a similar kind of system to the LMG 0818. Both guns are often considered to be highly effective offensive weapons to use for pushing the objective, and both guns are also often considered to be the ultimate choice for noobs alike, mainly because of how deadly they can be in the hands of an average player. But it's safe to say that both of these weapons function in a fairly similar sort of way, fitting into the same aggressive playstyles quite well. Though there are a few factors that do differentiate the two, making one better suited than the other in certain situations. The Hellriegel and the 0818 both have some pretty big advantages and disadvantages which stand out quite prominently when you put the two side by side. And although they might often seem to do the same sort of tricks, there's definitely reasons why you might want to opt for one over the other. So let's take a look at those stats and see exactly how the two guns compare. Now when you're rushing forwards and wreaking havoc in close quarters, a dangerous weapon with lots of power and speed is going to give you an advantage in gunfights and allow you to survive against your opponents. This is why the assault class's weapons are generally designed to be used by aggressive players who like to push forwards, with most of them being deadliest in CQC. The Hellriegel and the SMG 0818 both follow this same trend, and are going to be more effective up on the front lines closer to all those enemies. But there's still some pretty big differences in damage values, fire rates, and ultimately kill times when comparing the two together. The obvious thing to point out is that the SMG 0818 has the superior fire rate, with it being able to shoot at 770 RPM, an 18% increase over the Hellriegel's 650 RPM fire rate. So this is something that's going to impact those kill times in a pretty big way, allowing the 0818 to rip players to pieces in closer proximities more effectively than the Hellriegel. Not only does the 0818 have a faster fire rate, but there's also something else that's going to give it a bit more usability within shorter sightlines, and that's the fact that the gun's got a higher maximum damage value of 28 instead of 26.5. Not exactly a huge benefit, as this isn't directly going to affect the number of bullets needed to take down another player, with it taking the same amount of rounds for both guns to kill over all ranges, 4 shots up to 12 meters, 7 beyond 30. So in a sense, this tiny close range damage boost that the 0818 has might seem to be a bit irrelevant in a lot of cases. But what this does mean is that the SMG 0818 is capable of dropping a player with full health in just 3 shots, providing one of those shots hits your target bang in the face in close quarters, unlike the Hellriegel, which will still require an extra 4th round to kill, even if you land a headshot. And with the 0818 firing so fast and quite often, sometimes randomly, hitting players in the head with its rapid stream of bullets, this can potentially cut down those kill times even further, and allow you to really punish enemy players in closer ranges. Both guns are going to have the same kind of damage stats over distance though, with each bullet inflicting 15 damage beyond 36 meters. But generally speaking, you definitely don't want to be staring down the barrel of an 0818 if you're near an enemy wielding one. Though with the Hellriegel still having some very respectable kill times, they're both going to be very dangerous guns to use while you're close to all the action. It's just that the SMG 0818 is going to have a clear advantage when it comes to raw power and speed, quite easily making it the most lethal submachine gun out of the two, within the weapon's optimal range. So the SMG 0818 might have a pretty clear advantage over the Hellriegel when it comes to its ability to kill and, well, wipe the smile off your opponent's face at point blank range. But power isn't everything, because if you can't channel that power towards your enemy and actually hit them, then you're going to struggle to take advantage of it, kinda making it a bit worthless with more shots veering off target. This is one area where the Hellriegel shines brighter than the 0818, as although it doesn't exactly have any fantastic stats for its recoil pattern or spread values, it's going to be easier to stay on target, which will probably affect the gun's performance beyond close range, and generally make it feel a tad easier to handle, especially in fully automatic fire. The Hellriegel factory's vertical and horizontal recoil figures are almost exactly the same, as it's got an upwards kick of 0.384, along with left and right kick values of 0.38. So this means that it's going to be equally as accurate as it is stable. These figures aren't exactly super low, so you still might struggle to land shots on a target far into the distance, but it's going to perform in a more consistent and predictable way, without you really having to take any extra factors into account. And this goes for that defensive variant too, as although its recoil values are a fair bit higher, with an upwards kick of 0.48 and horizontal figures of 0.475, these values are all still pretty close to each other, so you don't really need to think too much about having to aim the gun in a certain way to keep it under control. especially if you're using that bipod, which is going to massively boost the weapon's accuracy. The SMG 0818, however, follows a very different pattern, as it's the only submachine gun in Battlefield 1 to actually have more horizontal recoil than vertical, with a vertical recoil of 0.47 and horizontal recoil of 0.6, basically making the 0818 a very inaccurate weapon when compared, especially if it becomes suppressed, which is really going to make it hard for you to land your shots, due to that spread being increased. This extra side-to-side kick causes the 0818 shots to fly off targets and generally means that it's going to be less suitable for full auto fire, especially in longer streams, whereas the Hellriegel can quite happily stay fairly precise over those close to mid-ranges, even when you're holding down the trigger. The Hellriegel does have a lower first shot recoil multiplier, which is going to make it slightly better suited for tap firing, though in most cases, because the Hellriegel's vertical and horizontal recoil values are pretty much identical, firing in full auto should do the job fine enough within close to mid ranges. The 0818's first shot recoil multiplier is a bit higher than the Hellriegel's, but because it jolts around all over the place so much, you're usually going to have to burst fire the gun in order to stay on target anyway, even within those closer proximities. It's going to be fairly easy to control in CQC, though this extra recoil will often cause more bullets to stray off target further away, increasing those kill times. So the Hellriegel will usually have the advantage when engaging enemies over further distances, being able to fire at a sustained rate in full auto more accurately. Now there's quite a few different factors to take into account when looking at a gun's overall reliability, and because the Hellriegel and 0818 both have different ammo counts, fire rates, reload times and even heat up times, these factors can all be affected by each other, making certain weapons and their variants better suited for specific styles of play. The bog standard Hellriegel factory has the smallest mag size of 60 rounds, which is still a respectable amount of shots for an SMG to carry, though its defensive variant doubles this, giving you 120 bullets to play around with, the biggest magazine in the assault class by a pretty large margin. And this goes hand in hand with its ability to keep bullets flowing, mainly being designed to suit passive-aggressive players better who prefer to sit back a bit and play more defensively. Both SMG 0818 variants hold the same amount of bullets, 81 per clip, so this gives it more shots than the Hellriegel factory variant, which is made to be used in a fairly similar way to the 0818, close to all the action within those offensive ranges. Though because the 0818 fires faster and can often miss more shots due to its violent recoil pattern, it's going to waste more bullets in the process and spend them at a quicker rate, often a rate which can be harder to manage. So this might mean that you'll find yourself running out of ammo at the same speed or even quicker than the Hellriegel, forcing you to reload sooner and more often, despite holding 21 rounds more. When it comes to those reloads, there isn't really a massive difference in times between the two, with the Hellriegel slightly beating the 0818, but not by much. The Hellriegel has a tactical reload of 3.75 seconds, whereas the 0818's tactical reload is 3.95 seconds. And both guns have actually got the same empty reload speeds, with them both taking 4.5 seconds, so in this field, they're sort of on the same level. Though no matter which gun you have, you've got plenty of shots to do some serious damage in CQC when your ammo is full, which is one of the things that makes the two guns so good to use within those danger zones, where you're likely going to come across multiple enemies. Unlike the other SMGs though, both of these weapons do overheat, a bit like some of the support's light machine guns, so you can't fire in one continuous stream to blast out all of those bullets at once. The Hellriegel overheats after shooting 40 rounds in one go, whereas the 0818 overheats after firing 30, so this gives the Hellriegel even more suppressive power, and allows you to fire in longer durations, which fits in more with how the gun is supposed to be used, being better suited for full auto fire. And this is also a really handy bonus for its defensive variant too, being able to lay down the fire for longer whilst being used in defensive positions. So which gun should you choose? Both the Hellriegel and SMG 0818 are both pretty similar weapons, but they definitely offer slightly different things to the user to make them seem more usable and effective in certain scenarios. The SMG 0818 is a bit more of a monster than the Hellriegel, having some extra power and speed on its side to shred up targets within those closer ranges faster. Though the Hellriegel is the more accurate, controllable, and often safer option of the two, which normally performs better when fired in full auto, as it can normally deal with players further away a tad better, and it isn't going to present you with as many problems as you play. Because you'll mainly be using both of these guns in run and gun situations, close to your targets, that extra lethality provided by the 0818 might just be enough to make it a more effective weapon for its intended purpose in the game, being the extremely aggressive gun that it is. And because it holds more ammo and can be handled fairly easily within those closer ranges if you burst fire it, the 0818 will probably seem like the better choice, as it's potentially got quicker kill times than the Hellriegel in CQC, providing you can land your shots of course. And it's capable of getting you out of a lot of sticky situations when you're surrounded by enemy players, because of the fact that you can quickly skip from target to target and mow down anyone you come across with a hailstorm of bullets. The Hellriegel on the other hand functions as a slightly more well-rounded weapon that still has nippy kill times, but chooses to spread its attributes out a bit by not putting all of its eggs in one basket, and instead sacrifices a little bit of that power in favour of having extra stability and accuracy. Because it's got lower recoil figures and is going to seem easier to handle, this means that you can keep the bullets flowing for longer, without having to pop shots or burst fire to stay on target, like you would with the 0818. Plus it also means that you'll probably find it easier to take on enemies a tad further away, running around over those early mid-ranges. So this gives it a bit more versatility, allowing the gun to perform slightly better against those enemies outside of close quarters. For these reasons, the Hellriegel might often seem to be the better option to pick, if you want something that's a bit more predictable and manageable, being able to keep the bullets flowing for longer without you really having to worry too much about recoil getting in the way. Though if you can put up with a bit of extra recoil and want an even deadlier option to use in CQC, then the SMG 0818 will probably be the one for you. The gun might lose some of its effectiveness over distance due to it kicking around a lot more, but it's certainly a more competitive choice for offensive playstyles, and will usually put your targets down a bit faster in shorter range gunfights. So that's it for another Battlefield 1 weapon comparison folks. Hope you enjoyed the guide, give me a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe to see more videos, including lots of stuff on Battlefield 5 coming very soon. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in that next episode.